What's going on, everybody? Richie here. Going into the new decade, I want to sort of recap and review the last 10 years of training. All right. Uh, I've been only training the right way for 4 years, so if you do the math, you can see that means that I made a lot of mistakes. uh, Obviously, 6 years of completely wasted time of training. No, not really, but definitely could have went a lot better. So if you're just starting out, I think that you could definitely learn from my mistakes and some of the things that I did right as well, and hopefully find some value in that, apply it to your own training, and get the results you want in a shorter amount of time. Could save you a lot of time. So hear me out. All right, let's start with something I did good. Putting an emphasis on bodyweight training. All right, we'll start on a positive note. Putting an emphasis on bodyweight training was one of the best decisions I ever made as far as my training goes. Unfortunately, it took me like 5 or 6 years to do that in my training life. So wasted a lot of time. Wasted a lot of time getting to that point. But the effects of bodyweight training is such a long list of reasons why it's good. But rehabilitative effect, helps cure muscle imbalances. It's more of a pull heavy routine as opposed to push heavy. Like most guys are focusing on a lot of like pressing, bench pressing, overhead press, shoulders, sitting forward, rounded, and bodyweight training is sort of just, pulling, a lot of pulling. So it's evening out, head back to front, to help open up your whole chest, correct your posture. In addition to that, you're going to use your stabilizers in almost every single move, right? When you're doing a push-up, you're doing a plank, so you're stabilizing your whole body, core is engaged. Same thing with a pull-up. You're doing a pull-up, you got to stop yourself from swinging back and forth. Your glutes are tight, your legs are tight if you're doing it right, not leaking any horsepower. Learning how to use your body as a chain, doing these compound movements, man, it really is like a magical thing when you first start doing it and you start getting good at it. But becoming proficient in body weight training was one of the best decisions I ever made. Not to mention, it gives you a different look. It gives you a different look. You can tell the guys that are good at pull-ups and weighted pull-ups in the gym and the guys who have only done lat pull-downs for the last 10 years. The physiques look different. I did a video on the V-taper. We already talked about this. The lat meat speaks for itself, so we don't even got to take it much deeper than that. If you want, you can go watch that video on the V-taper. But putting an emphasis on bodyweight training, definitely one of the best decisions I made. Now, as I said, it took me a long time to get to that point. So there was a huge mistake that I made, was doing bro splits, not following a program. I've been training since before social media, guys. Okay, yeah, I'm old, all right? I've just turned 31 this week. So when I started training and I was 20 years old, there was no social media. The information that we have today wasn't as readily available. There was no Instagram. YouTube was sort of just starting out. There wasn't a huge fitness scene on YouTube. You're kind of at the mercy of who you went to the gym with. You could just ask the most jacked guy for his advice. And chances are he might just be on drugs, and PEDs, or he could just have really good genetics. If you got really lucky, maybe you ran into a guy who actually knew what he was talking about. But the information wasn't as readily available today, so we were doing a lot of bro splits, okay? We were doing a lot of bro splits. It was a lot of chest, arms, shoulders. Nowadays, if you skip legs, people they'll say, "What are you, a bitch? Are you stupid? You skip legs?" It wasn't like that back then. People didn't care if you wanted to just come to the gym, hit shoulders, chest, and arms every other day, and not do legs at all. Nobody looked at you weird. Now we know. Obviously, if you want a well-rounded physique, you should be training your legs, right? We know that now. We know that bro splits are suboptimal as well. If you don't know that, you're welcome. You're hearing it here now. Don't train your muscle groups one day per week, right? Train every muscle group at least twice a week with something like an upper-lower split, or even full body 2 or 3 times a week, depending on how advanced you are, or if you're just starting out. could have an effect on to which one is better for you. But yeah, the bro split thing, that was a huge mistake that I made. But something good that I did, and this is more recently, was that I decided to put an emphasis on getting stronger. So I decided I was going to start implementing barbell movements back into my training again, and I was going to get stronger. Getting stronger, being strong, is the best base that you can have. It's the best base because getting stronger carries over into everything else you want to do. So if you're an athlete, getting stronger will help you be a better athlete. If you want to be a bodybuilder, right, you just focus on getting big, being stronger is going to help you be a better bodybuilder. Although bodybuilding will also largely come down to what type of genetics you have and what your drug stack looks like. Being stronger is going to help you. It's going to help you be a better bodybuilder. If you want to be a natural bodybuilder, you have to be strong. There's almost no point in trying to be a natural bodybuilder if you're not going to get brutally strong as well. If you're a powerlifter, obviously you got to get strong. Fighter, if it's down to you and the other guy and your skill sets are equal, the bigger, stronger guy is going to win in a fight. If you're just an average Joe, you're just a regular guy, you work a blue-collar job like me, you're a landscaper, or you work construction, being stronger, is it ever not going to be a good thing? No, it's always going to help. Building a strength base is going to carry over into everything, so focus on getting strong. And the best way to focus on getting strong is compound movements. Again, a handful of compound movements, probably like 7 or 8 compound movements, focusing on squat, bench, deadlift, press, a hip hinge assistance move, a squat assistance move, weighted pull-ups, focusing on that and getting brutally strong in those movements is going to carry over into everything else you do in your life. So, if I could go back in time, what would I do the same and what would I do different? I would definitely start out with bodyweight movements again. So let's go back 10 years now. I'm 21 years old, never touched the barbells, first time in the gym, and I can go back in time and guide myself through the gym. I would put myself through convict conditioning again. That is without a doubt. I would make myself get good at convict conditioning. And just as soon as I start to get to those intermediate movements, handstand push-ups, the one-arm push-ups, instead of doing the one-arm push-ups, that's when I would have started doing bench. Start implementing the bench right then. So that would have taken me maybe like 6 months to get to that point. So doing convict conditioning for about 6 months and then implementing barbell movements. As soon as I could do those body weight squats, I would have got myself a pair of squat shoes and said, all right, it's time to start getting under a barbell. Soon as I got to like level 5 of the bridges, I would have said time to start deadlifting. And I would have got really strong at those movements and then focus on having a balance between doing weighted calisthenics and barbell training. Then I probably would have made myself stick with that on a program. Guys, I don't know if I said this right, but find a program. Find a program that that progresses you, that has a system of progression, right? And it's so crucial. So you're not just spinning your wheels and trying to guess the weights. When you go into the gym, you should know exactly how much weight, how many reps, and what level of fatigue you should be at every single day. You should be able to look at your program and go, I know exactly how much I'm lifting for the next month, for the next mesocycle. And I can actually guess how much stronger I'm going to get over the next 3 months, 6 months, year. You should be able to do that. If you can't do that with your program, you need to find a program that's going to allow you to do that. But yeah, I would have made myself stick with a program for 2 or 3 years, and I would have realized that was going to help me get better at everything. So a couple things I did right, a couple things I did wrong. I wasted a lot of time, but it's never too late to start, right? It's never too late to get better. So that's the training aspect of what I would do different if I can go back in time. That's my training recap. I didn't mess it up too bad. I didn't mess it up too bad, but it could have been a lot better. So hopefully you guys can learn from that, get a little bit better. I'm going to do a follow-up video as well based on nutrition, diet, extra things like that, supplementation. That'll be coming out soon. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take it easy. I'll talk to you next time.